Hello Cryptowisers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton and I will be your captain for this episode. Well, it has been a while since old Milty has done an altcoin report, so I thought it was about time we had a quick look at the markets, see what was going on, and check in on some of our favorite alts. So in today's episode, I'll have a general look at the market. I will zero in on a few of the channel's favorite alts, see how they've been doing since we talked about them, and I'm going to steal Marvin's catchphrase. I'm going to let you know what's on my BIDAR right now. So at the end of the episode, I'll let you know which alt I got my eyes zeroed in on, which ones are right there, smack dab in Milty's BIDAR. All right, kids, you know the rules. Safety first. Buckle up because this is going to be another exciting episode of Cryptowise. All right, guys, the first alt that I had to look at is Orion Protocol, one of my favorites. My longtime Cryptowisers will know that Orion was one of the first projects that I did a deep dive into. That's this video here. That was over 3 months ago now. Orn was at $2 and now we're seeing it sitting at $15.99, and that's after a pullback of almost 9% in the last 24 hours. So man, this has been one of our better plays over the last couple of months. Look at this chart. This has gone parabolic the last couple of weeks. Okay, we're talking Jan 27. It was still down in this $3 range, and now it went to its all-time high of $17.84. Now, I love this project. It really depends on, are they going to be able to fulfill all their promises? If they can, in my opinion, this is going to be a huge project. I'm going to be using it every day. And I had to talk about it today because they came out with huge news a couple of days ago. I guess this was yesterday. They are going to be integrating Binance Smart Chain into the latest Orion protocol. So if you don't know what Orion is, one, you have to watch my original video on it. Goes a deep dive, tells you exactly what it is. If you haven't watched it yet, you can do so by clicking the link at the top of the screen. But essentially, it's a terminal that will have access to all centralized exchanges and all decentralized exchanges. So you'll be able to just go to your terminal, make a trade. It will give you the best prices from essentially all of crypto world. And so they just announced that they're going to be integrating Binance Smart Chain onto the platform. It means that if you're trading within the Binance Smart Chain on Orion, you'll be able to obviously reduce fees and get that cost and speed that we love from the Binance Smart Chain. But I imagine you're also going to be able to access all the great DEXs that we love on Binance Smart Chain and all the exchanges that are going to be built there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That is huge news. Okay, so imagine one place where you can see your different price from PancakeSwap or Uniswap, and you can just choose there. You get to see what it would cost you in gas, all that stuff. I just think, obviously, the concept is amazing, so it's just down to execution now, and so far the team has impressed me. So obviously, look, it's not a secret anymore. $17.84 all-time high. That is incredible. Let's see what the market cap is right now, 327 million. So it has gone up huge. Still tons of room to grow, in my opinion. If it can be what it says it's going to be, lots of room to grow here, but of course, be careful, okay? I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys this, but look, when you see a chart like this, parabolic rise, you got to be careful. Nothing goes up forever. And maybe you got to say to yourself, look, maybe I missed out. You wait for a dip, you wait for consolidation, whatever. I'm not saying never buy a project when it has a chart like this. I'm just saying you got to be careful. Obviously, the odds are it's just had a huge pump, which means people who bought in here, like Milty, I bought in way before $2. And then I bought a bit more at $2. So look, I got a lot of profit I could take off the table here. And there are a lot of people like me out there, so you got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. For me, right now with Orn, I'm holding. Unfortunately, I did not buy that big of a bag of Orn. I love the project, but I was already heavily invested in other things, blah, blah, blah. I did not get as big a bag as I wanted, and so I'm just staying all in on Orn. That's what I'm doing. If I had a bigger bag, I would have taken profit by now. Or not profit, but I would have taken my original investment out. I haven't even touched that yet. So that's what I'm doing with Orn. I think this has way more room to grow. It's not, people aren't even using it yet, even though they have a working model that's out there. It doesn't have all the features. It's not getting all the liquidity from everyone yet. So, but when they incorporate Binance Smart Chain, I'm going to start using it right away because I do have access to it. But with Ethereum Gas, I haven't been using it. So I think in the coming weeks and months, if this market stays in a bull market, I cannot see Orion not being one of the bigger projects being talked about. All right, moving right along. Let's talk altcoin number 2. I'm going to have a look at one of my old faves, Mantra DAO. Of course, longtime Cryptowisers know all about Mantra DAO because I have made not one, but 2 videos on them. The last one being this one here, Polkadot Hidden Gem. If you haven't watched it, you can do so now by clicking the link at the top of your screen. So that was about a month ago. So let's look at the 30-day. Yeah, I think Mantra DAO was still down in this range here when we last talked about it, about 15 cents. So it's almost done a double since then, but I like this trend. Okay, this is a great trend. As I said in that video, the last private sale went out. Okay, so all the private sale Mantra DAO that was promised to the private investors, that went out. So we've seen way less sell pressure here on Mantra DAO the last month, and I'm liking this trend. So this is the max chart here. The all-time high for Mantra DAO is actually 62 cents. So we're still more than 50% off of the all-time high. And that was in the big DeFi craze of the summer. And, you know, anything Polkadot was huge back then. And so when they announced, when they first launched, it was a really hot buy at that time. And it is taking a long time to get momentum back. But now that they have it, I definitely see them getting back to this all-time high at some point. They are sitting at a market cap now of 77 million, so still fairly small. It's not micro cap anymore. It's not as big a hidden gem as it used to be, but still pretty small for this market. And I wanted to bring up Mantra DAO today because they had a couple of pieces of news that I really loved. One, they announced this, that Mantra DAO will officially support OX Polygon. And as you guys probably know, Polygon is actually a rebranding of Matic, which was kind of a scaling solution on Ethereum. Now they're more of kind of a sidechain to Ethereum. At any rate, they are now trying to work on helping Ethereum solve some of its congestion, gas fees problem. It's a big, huge, great project. So Mantra DAO says that 5 months after being selected to be a foundation public node in the Matic ecosystem, that they're excited to announce that they are taking their next steps in that journey. They will be supporting it as their first multi-chain expansion. That's pretty exciting news for Mantra DAO. And then the other big piece of news is they launched Send It, which is their launchpad program. So presenting Mantra DAO's launchpad, Send It. And they did announce, I believe, that Leprechaun is going to be the first project that they launch on Zendit. Now look, you know how Milty feels about these launch pads. I'm not a big fan, especially just trying to get one of these projects that launch on them. It can be complicated. I don't think anyone's figured it out. Obviously, if you guys have been watching the channel this week, I'm a huge fan of Kylan, which is launching their token. I thought the balancer strategy that they had announced would help with some of this launchpad problem. Clearly hasn't. Now, I'm still super excited for Kylan, and it's launching tomorrow on Uniswap. I'm not any less excited about Kylan, but they weren't able to figure out the launchpad problem from a user experience, from a trying to make it as fair as possible experience. But I don't blame Kylan, and I don't blame the Polka Starters of the world or the paid projects of the world, and now Mantra DAO getting into this game because it's clearly very lucrative. So for them, it makes a lot of sense. I'll be interested to see how it works. Obviously, as a holder of Mantra DAO, I'll be able to participate, I imagine, in some of these project launches. But for me, I would like to see more just openness with these launches, give everyone a chance to get their hands on it. And, you know, as many problems as just launching on Uniswap has, look, that experience isn't great either, but in my mind, these launch pads have not been working. But that said, obviously, PolkaStarter is hugely successful from it. Paid has become hugely successful. So I think this is going to give a boost to Mantra DAO. So I have taken a little bit of my original investment out of Mantra DAO. Not the whole thing yet, but a little bit. But I do expect it to continue to keep going up. But as I keep telling you guys, I love to try to get my initial investment out, try to spread that around if I can. And if I miss out on some big profit, I'm okay with that as long as I'm still in the project. And for OM, I will be in it. Once I take my initial investment out, I'm going to be hodling OM for a long time, I imagine. But of course, I'll let you guys know if that changes. All right, last but not least, wanted to have a look at my favorite non-fungible token project. That is Terra Virtua Collect. And again, you Cryptowisers who have been watching for a while will know that Milty was on this from the very beginning. I made this video here 2 months ago, right before Terra Virtua launched their token. At that time, there was plenty of chance to get in at Terra Virtua at 4 or 5 cents. Okay, it went up to 10 cents, I think, really quickly. Then it dropped back down. It sat in at 4 or 5 cents for a long time. That's where Milty built his bags, and we are up to 56 cents. And that is actually down from an all-time high. Okay, a couple of days ago, it spiked all the way up to 92 cents. So if we look at the max chart there, there's that spike right there. We're back down to 56 cents. But guys, that is pretty great. Over a 10x from when it launched. A market cap only of 41 million still. I think this is way more upside, especially with how hot non-fungible tokens are. I still don't think people understand the potential of this project. Again, full transparency, I took my initial investment out of Terra Virtua. I'm still in it, still got my bags. And honestly, it was actually hard to take my initial investment out of this one because I believe that it has so much more upside to go. But got to be disciplined all the time. Took out my initial investment. Now I'm just sitting on the TVK that I have left. I'm going to be sitting on it for a while. I'm excited to see where this project can go. And the big news, what created that huge bump the other day, as you can see right here, was right when it launched on Binance. Okay, guys, TVK is now on Binance. That is huge, obviously, for this project. And obviously why it had that huge bump. Went back down to the 50 range, but I think this is the range we're in now. Now that it's on a major exchange, now with the non-fungible token craziness out there, these guys are doing some really cool things. I don't think it's ever going back to the 4 or 5 cent range. Could be wrong. Obviously, anything can happen. But I love that I have myself a bag of TVK. And when something 10x is always nice to be able to take your initial investment out and not have to worry anymore. All right, guys, I actually lied. I want to look at one more because I don't want to look like everything I pick is a winner. Okay, I don't want to be on here only showing my winners. Obviously, if you watch the channel, you know I'm a huge fan of AutoFarm. Now look. AutoFarm's at $3,133 today. It's down 19%. It has a market cap of $42 million. But when I was talking about it, I actually don't know the price, but I know that it spiked up over 12,000. And even at 12,000, I was saying I loved it. And guys, I don't know what to tell you. I still love it. And I'm holding. I am holding my auto. I got a bunch of stuff in auto. I'm earning auto for adding liquidity to auto. I have extra auto that I'm holding on to, and it sucks. This really sucks. At 12,000, I thought it was going up to 30, to be honest. And clearly I got too bullish. I got into the Binance Smart Chain hype that I thought that it still had room to go. Great lesson though for you guys. Do not get greedy, okay? I was in early on auto. I actually got in before it hit 1,000, so I'm not even down yet on my auto, on my original auto. Although I kept buying as it went up. So overall, I'm down quite a bit, but it's a good lesson because I got greedy. As I told you guys, when you see a parabolic, you got to be careful. And I thought I had legs to go and I stayed in. But fundamentally, this is also a great lesson is I just love the project. So I feel fine about holding it. Obviously, anytime something goes down or any of your bags start going down huge, it sucks. But if you're holding bags that you believe in, that's all you can do. I still really believe in this project. They've added vaults for Goose Finance. They've got Viking here now. Obviously, they always had the Pancake Swap and the Venus and their own auto pool. and B dollar. In terms of functionality, in terms of still providing pretty decent yield, even though the yield has gone way down since I first joined, but it's still great rates and it works great. Although I don't know the team, I've interacted with them and they're always right on it in terms of answering questions and all that kind of stuff, which I love. So I'm still really bullish on Auto, but obviously right now it does not look like a winner in terms of compared to the other picks. They are not all going to be winners, folks, especially not all at the same time, but I'm of the adage, especially with Auto, which I really believe in, I haven't lost anything until I sell. And I'm still earning Auto. So that's the great thing about Auto is I get my daily rewards. So it's not just a coin that's just sitting there losing value, not doing anything for me. All right, guys. No, I did not forget. I also promised you a BIDAR pick, okay? Stealing that from Marvin. Marvin came up with the term BIDAR, which are projects on his radar to buy. And my BIDAR pick for the day is Bridge Mutual. This is a project, we've talked a little bit about it on the channel. I have not bought yet, but is one that I have been watching for a long time, and it feels like it's close to getting to a point to buy. This week, I'm concentrating on Kylan. Once I get through that, I really hope that Bridge does not pump before I can get in. If we look at the max chart of Bridge, we can see that it maxed out. It had an all-time high of 546, super hype when it came out. Now it's cooled off. So we're down over 50% from the all-time high. We see that it's on a downtrend, but I don't know how much lower it's going to go. That's also going to depend on the altcoin strength, obviously. If the whole market goes down, this is going to go down more, obviously. But as we can see, it hasn't really recovered as well as some of the other coins this week. Okay, so we had those kind of big dips on the weekend, and a lot of coins bounced back. Bridge has not yet. So this is the one on my BIDAR. I am keeping my eye out on Bridge. You guys know it's one that I've wanted to buy for a while. I love insurance as a use case for blockchain. I love Polkadot. So obviously I'm going to like Bridge. But have not done a deep dive into Bridge yet, and I would do that before buying. All right, Cryptowisers, thanks as always for watching my video. Until next time, my name is Milton. Saying over and out.